Learners, welcome back to my channel Online Shala. So today we are going to study about the chapter force. So before we get into the video, I would request you all to please subscribe to my channel first so that you will be notified every time I put up a new video next. So now let's begin with the chapter. Let us understand the basic concept of force with some example over here. So here if we take a rigid body, suppose consider it as any object. So when you apply force in a direction towards the object, generally we see a change in a movement. Means you can see the change of motion from one place to another at a particular time. So that is for a rigid body. Whereas if you take a non-rigid body, like suppose clay. So when you apply force on this non-rigid body, obviously you can see if you apply pressure over here and you force in this direction, obviously you see change in motion, plus you also see the change in the shape and size as well, whereas in rigid body you do not find any change in size or shape, but for non-rigid body you find a change in size and shape as well. So this is non-rigid body and this is the difference of rigid and non-rigid body. So if you apply a force on any body, like for rigid or non-rigid body, it has a certain mass. So the mass we have taken it as m, and a is the acceleration over here, which means when you generally apply force on this object, you can see there is a shift in the place of the object. So from one place to another, when you apply force, it will move to a certain extent. So we have taken that as speed, and when you take it at a particular instant of time, then you can see the acceleration of that object. So that's why force is termed as F is equals to ma, which is mass into acceleration, which gives the amount of force. So force has units, which SI unit is 1 kgf or 1 Newton. So generally we represent force in SI unit in terms of Newton and also in terms of 1 kgf. So the relationship between 1 kgf and 1 Newton is 1 kgf is equals to 1 g Newton. G over here is acceleration due to gravity and the value of it is 9.8 meter per second square. So this is the SI unit of force, which we generally term as Newton, and then the relationship here is 1 kgf is equals to 1 g Newton, and we represent Newton as capital N because it is named after the scientist Newton. So this is the relationship between 1 kgf and Newton, and g over here is 9.8 meter per second square. And for a rigid body or a non-rigid body, when you apply force, generally you see some types of motion which is taking place over here, which is translational and rotational as well. So let us see in detail about them. So the two types of motions are linear or translational, and the second one is rotational. So first let us see about the linear or translational motion. So linear means, as the name suggests, so if we take an object over here, suppose we take a ball. So when we apply force on this ball in this direction, we see that the object rotates in a linear manner, which means in a straight path it goes on moving. So that's why the motion is termed as linear or transitional, which is the object moves in a straight path when the force is applied over here. For suppose the example over here is ball. So now coming to the rotational motion. So for rotational motion, if we take a body over here which is pivoted at its point at center, so when force is applied over here, it rotates about its axis. So it moves in a rotational manner. So if we take the example of wheel, so it is pivoted at center, and when force is applied, it rotates about its axis. So this turning effect is termed as rotational motion. So another example which you can see in your daily life is if you take the example of a door, and if you take the handle of a door over here. So these are the hinges of the door, and if you take the handle of this door and if you pull the handle towards your side, you can see that this hinges over here, they act as a pivot, and when the force is applied over here, it moves about the axis, means about the hinges. So this is also an example, a real life example, a door handle. So these are the two examples of rotational motion, which is one is wheel and the other one is door, which is rotates itself about the hinges. So this is the linear motion. This is the basic one, which is simple to understand, means the body moves in a straight path when we apply force from one direction. And then the rotational motion means for a body from its pivoted point, the force is applied, it generally rotates around its axis. So these are the difference between linear or translational and rotational motion. So now let us see about the factors affecting the moment of force, or understand the moment of force or torque through this example over here. So now if we take a rigid body over here, now let us take as a pivot as O, and the line of action of force F through AP. So now for a rigid body over here, if we applied a motion over here, like if we apply force, it does not show any linear or translational motion because it is pivoted at a point over here and it's mentioned it as O over here. So there is no force, when no force applied and no linear or translational motion over here. So in that case, the body moves in a anti-clockwise manner, which means it moves in a rotational manner, it moves in a rotational direction. Which for a moment of force, when a body moves in an anti-clockwise direction, we take it as a positive, and when it moves in clockwise direction, we take that force as negative. So in this case, it's moving in anti-clockwise direction, so the moment of force is positive over here. So now force is applied through AP over here and the pivot is over here. So the factors which is generally affecting these are the first one is the magnitude of force, and the second one is the line of action of force through which the body is rotating over here. So line of action of force is F, which is AP over here. I'll just write it like this. So I hope you understand. So these are the two factors which affects the turning effect of the body. So generally the turning effect of the body, it depends on the moment of force or torque. So generally the amount of force you apply, it totally depends upon the turning effect of the body. Now if you generally apply force, an amount of force over here, if you increase the amount of force, the moment of force also increases. If you decreases, the moment of force or torque also decreases. So the moment of force is directly proportional to the torque applied. So it is directly proportional. And in this case, so this is the point we taken OP, and the F is the direction of force is applying. So we can take it as the torque, which is, you can take it as capital T, OP into AP, which is nothing but F, so I am writing it as F. So this is the torque generated here in this example. So if we take about the SI unit, the unit of it is Newton per meter. So M is the meter and N is Newton. So in SI unit it is Newton per meter, and for CGS unit, I'll write it here. For CGS unit, it is kgf per meter. So previously in the before slides also I have told you that 1 kgf is equals to 1 Newton. So here 1 kgf, here we have taken it as 1 Newton per meter. So remember this relation, it's very important. In the first slide also I have told you before also. So this is the moment of force or torque I have explained over here, and these are the factors, and the units are very important to remember. And this is the relation here, 1 kg per meter is equals to 1 Newton per meter. And so, and one more thing, the moment of force is a vector quantity, which means it has magnitude as well as direction. So I have already mentioned about the direction over here before. So when the moment of force is applied in an anti-clockwise direction, it is taken as positive, whereas in clockwise it's taken as negative. So it is a vector quantity. So these are some of the points you need to remember for moment of force, which is also called as torque. So we have learned about the basic definition of force from the beginning, and then the types of motion, which is linear or translational or rotational, and now we have seen torque. So now let us see some of the common examples of force which we see generally in our daily life. So some of the real life examples of moment of force is the one which I have already given you before. For the door handle, if you remember, I have told you that if there is a door like this and the hinges at the side, and hinges act at the axis and through which the door can rotate over here. So that is an example of a moment of force. So I am not discussing it again. So now let us see some new examples over here. So now we have the example of a steering wheel. So now in this first figure over here, if you see, when we apply a force at here through A, it moves in an anti-clockwise direction. So it is in positive direction. And here if we apply the force here through B, it moves in a clockwise direction like this. So the force is applied in a clockwise direction over here, and here the force is applied in an anti-clockwise direction. So here the force is positive and here the force taken as negative, because in anti-clockwise, as we have mentioned before also, that in an anti-clockwise direction the moment of force is positive, and for a clockwise direction it is taken as negative. So this is the example for a steering wheel. And next is the example of a bicycle. Now let us take this as a foot pedal over here, and this is the big wheel over here, and this is the axle over here, and this is the chain over here which we have applied. So when we apply pressure over here on the foot pedal, this is the axle. So for the movement of the bicycle, when we apply force on the foot pedal over here, it generates through this chain over here, and then it reaches the axle over here through this. It moves through this motion. So you can see that the force applied over here and the axle, this is in perpendicular direction, which is 90 degrees. As we have already mentioned before in the moment of force in torque, that the force applied and the body should be in a perpendicular direction, which is 90 degrees. So this is the second example over here, which is of a bicycle, and this is of a steering wheel. And another example is of a spanner, which you have already maybe seen in your houses. So this is the spanner, and then this is the nut. So generally this, if you apply force over here at the end of the spanner, you provide force to produce a small moment of force. So no need of applying large amount of force over here. So that's why there is a long handle of spanner over here to generate a small moment of force. So generally if the spanner rotates in anti-clockwise direction, which means we need to loosen the nut. Supposingly if we take it in a clockwise direction, which it means that we are fixing the screw. In anti-clockwise means we are loosening the screw, and for clockwise direction means we are fixing the screw. So here we have taken it as an anti-clockwise direction, which means it is in positive direction over here. Just for the example we have taken it here. So these are some of the real life examples of moment of force or torque you can see, and also of the door handle, which I already mentioned before. This is steering wheel, and that of a bicycle and a spanner. So these are some of the basic examples. So that is it for the video today. So if you have any doubts, please do comment in the comment section below, and please do subscribe, because in the upcoming videos we'll be seeing about the couple and equilibrium of bodies, and also we'll be solving some numericals about it. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and please do like, share the video, and thank you.